Well, good afternoon. I'm debating whether to go tell my family to turn things down out there or not. I'm not sure if they'll be picked up by the microphone or not. It's going to be an experiment. Aristo is in internet cafes and he has all sorts of noise going on around him. I normally have it really quiet around me, and I give everybody forewarning I'm going to record. I did post a note on my door saying I'm recording, but I don't think anybody out there has seen it yet. Anyway, the title for today's video, which is actually tomorrow's video, of course, is Mastering Unconditional Love. A friend posted this on my Facebook wall, a letter by Courtney A. Walsh. I have no idea, by the way, who she is. She wrote, quote, "Dear human, you've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That is where you came from and where you will return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love, infused with divinity, demonstrated through the beauty of messing up. Often, you didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed and fabulous, and then to rise again to remembering. But unconditional love? Stop telling that story. Love and truth doesn't need any other adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers. It doesn't require the condition of perfection. It only asks that you show up and do your best, that you stay present and feel fully, that you shine and fly and laugh and cry and hurt and heal and fall and get back up and play and work and live and die as you. It's enough. It's plenty. Now it's funny because just a few minutes ago, before I was ready to begin, I just opened an email from someone and said, who commented, because I posted that, I shared it actually on Facebook, and someone said, yes, but unconditional love is the only love. The rest labeled above are ego struggles. Nothing wrong with the ego trial tribulations, but let's call a spade a spade. Love is divine, and there is only ever that type of love. It is the source of everything, I agree. Probably the closest to God we will ever come. But it is real, and what we must strive for if we are to truly rise above our human incarnation. Anyway, that's only half of the response there. I'm not going to read the other half. Not that it's anything wrong with it. I'm just not going to read it. You know, it's interesting because earlier today, Spirit prompted me to do something which quite honestly surprised me. And let me actually, I do want to read that comment because it's one that I made. So far, I've read things that other people have said. I wrote in a comment on that very thread on Facebook, sometimes God or my higher self leads me to do things that don't necessarily make sense to me at first. And then I realize how much I know how it feels to be misunderstood, wondering if maybe I did not understand things myself. Love doesn't always need to understand or to be understood. It simply needs to be acknowledged and acted upon. Yeah, I was surprised when Spirit, through a series of emails and stuff like that, moved me to do something, as I said, that caught me a little bit off guard. But I felt it was very strongly led by Spirit, by God, whatever. And I responded. And it involved an individual that I felt did not understand me, and I'm realizing that maybe I didn't understand that person either. So it's misunderstanding meeting misunderstanding and building a bridge. And y'all know, if you've been listening for any period of time to my videos, that I believe in building bridges. I believe in building them on a personal level as well as on a collective level, I've been working all of my life, building bridges, trying to get to the vision that I see from the place where we are now in our development as a human family. And getting to understand each other is a challenge because we all have different baggage, we all have a different history, we all have different filters, we all have a different way of perceiving the world, and even more than that, we have a different way of expressing what we feel and what we see and what we think. And so we don't, even if we both see the same thing, we might be expressing it totally different. So love is really important. Now, I chuckled a little bit when I saw the sentence there. Where is it? Love, in truth, doesn't need any other adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers. And right above that, Courtney wrote, personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? All sorts of modifiers, all sorts of adjectives to describe love. And there's probably been more songs written about love than any other subject on the earth. It's what we are. It's what we came here to be and to do and to experience. It's where we came from and where we're going. Love, from some perspectives, love is all there is. I mean, the writer that responded to me, yes, love is all there is. It's divine. And is it unconditional? Well, that's perfection, right? I don't have any conditions. Well, in a three-dimensional world, that kind of love is impossible. It is absolutely impossible because there are people and situations that do harm. And it's not loving to allow yourself to be abused. It's not loving to allow yourself to suffer wrongfully. Some points we need to stand up. And is that not love when we stand up for our rights or stand up for our space to protect our interests in living as peacefully as possible with as little conflict as possible? I mean, that's what I want in my life. I'm a Libra after all. I don't like a lot of confrontation, even though it may seem like I'm confronting all the time. Ideas confronting other ideas is one thing, but I don't like it when it gets in your face type of thing. That's one of the things that I absolutely shy away from in relationships. I don't want constant confrontations, and especially when they get to where you're not listening to each other, where you're only yelling at each other. I mean, there's no meaning to that for me. I mean, it's an exercise in futility to just yell at each other and not hear what the other person is saying. That's why I would recommend people studying compassionate communication and the art of listening, and listening so that you could be able to repeat back what the other person is saying and understand, at least try to understand where they're coming from. Now, as I said, I've been misunderstood, and I've probably done a lot of misunderstanding of people in my world and in my life. It goes with the territory of being human. So that's the part of Ms. Walsh's letter that I really appreciated, because it's not about perfection. It is about it is about shining and flying and laughing and crying and hurting and healing and falling back and getting back up again, and playing and working and living and dying as you. Now, somebody recently went through a week of trying to convince me of the truth of A Course in Miracles that says that there's things in the world that are real and things that are not real. And the only things we need to pay attention to are the things that are real. And this is the perfection. This is the unconditional love. This is God, okay? And this is light. You don't pay attention to darkness. You don't pay attention to anything that doesn't feel good. You don't pay attention to anything that hurts, because none of that is real. None of the drama is real. None of the physicality is real. Nothing is real. Well, that's not very loving. And I've talked about this before. To me, there are two areas where the human race has been really wounded badly. One of them in Western religion, one of them in Eastern religion. The Western religion one, of course, is that we are all sinners. Well, in a sense of none of us are perfect, that's absolutely true. But in the sense that we're worthless refuse and have no value, that's totally, totally not true. And sometimes that's what's put forth, and that's the idea that comes behind, I'm no good. I'll never amount to anything. And all of the negative crap that's thrown on us to belittle us and to get us to live less than who we are. That's spiritual abuse to me. When we're taught sin, that we're sinners from that perspective, that we're useless, that God's going to reject us if we don't get our act together and believe the right doctrines and dogmas and crap. And it's all crap. But the Eastern one, in a sense, is even more damaging. And the Eastern one is that nothing is real in the physical world. That everything in the physical world is an illusion. It's all a lie. It's all fraud. Well, the system is all fraud. I'll give you that. The matrix is built on fraud. I give you that. But it's not an illusion and it's not unreal. It is real experience. And until we are willing to love the shadow, to love the darkness, to love the drama even, and love it to the point of allowing it to heal, of owning it, not trying to run away from it, not belittling ourselves as the Western religions would teach, and not just doing the avoid dance that the Eastern religions teach. Well, you just avoid. And that's what A Course in Miracles does. That's what a lot of the New Age, New Thought spirituality teaches. It does an end run on the healing process by the process of denial, of saying it's not real. Well, it's all real. And until we learn to love everything, which is in a way is unconditional love, until we do that, we're not going to be able to create the world individually for ourselves that we want, the kind of life that we want, and collectively the world that we would like to live in. And we're waking up to that. We're waking up to that, and we're examining these things. It's not that somebody's wrong and other people are right. It's not about getting the right answers or the right dogma or the right religion or the right political viewpoint or the right monetary system or the right, whatever. We have rights to get it wrong as long as we don't harm anybody. Natural law is about harming and not harming. It's about operating in free will without hurting and violating anyone else's free will. That's natural law, and it's a law that's written in our hearts. And if we follow that law, we will come to a place of dealing kindly and ultimately compassionately and lovingly with those around us. And we will be able to, it's not even a matter of forgiveness anymore, because it's a matter of just recognizing that, hey, they're doing the best they can in the situation that they have based on the information that they're aware of, and giving a lot of grace. Grace right now is really important as we go through the changes that we're going through. And grace just simply means giving people space. We each need our space. We each need our space to determine how to handle all of these energies that are overwhelming us in many instances, so that we don't know which end is up. And I want to encourage each of you to go within, spend time every day going within, just listening to yourself, feeling your body, feeling your feelings. What's going on in your body? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Observing your thoughts, learning the difference between what you're feeling and what you're thinking as much as you can. And coming to a place of accepting yourself unconditionally. I do believe that's the importance of unconditional love. when you can accept yourself unconditionally and not put yourself down and not sit in constant judgment on your own being and on your own life, and yet taking full responsibility and accountability for everything that you do, then we can grow up and we can mature and we can become the kind of people that are needed to build the world that we're envisioning, a world that works for everybody. And so I'm encouraging you once again to just take some introspection. Look at your life. Look at your love. Who am I? How do you define yourself? What do you want? How well are you doing? Not to judge, but an honest assessment, as honest as you're able to make it, because the truth, which is honesty, will set us free. I think that's all I'm going to say today, so I'm going to leave you with that, and I do thank you for listening. Namaste.